everybody? Welcome to the Funny Won't Stop podcast. Today I am here with Mike Paramore, local guy from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm correct by that?
Yes, born and raised. Yep.
All right. Where exactly in Cleveland?
Oh, I've lived all over. I live downtown now, but I've lived all over. I graduated from Garfield Heights, but I went to South before they shut down, and I lived all over Cleveland.
All right. So you still live in Cleveland now?
Yes.
Okay.
I ain't going nowhere. My mama there. I'm a mama's boy. I ain't going nowhere.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So how long ago did you get started in stand-up comedy?
Gosh, what, 11, maybe 12 years ago?
Jeez. You're young, so.
It seemed like a lifetime ago, but yeah, man, it's been quite a ride.
So, just looking at a little bit of your credits. Well, I know you have a dry bar comedy special. We'll reel back to that. And I think it was 2012 or 2014, Just for Laughs.
Yes. No. Yes. I don't know what year that was.
But in general, you were part of Just for Laughs, the comedy festival. And also, looking at your bio, you've actually won some honors at quite a few comedy festivals. But what was it like being part of Just for Laughs?
Oh, well, it was honestly, you're pretty low on the totem pole. So, I did a couple of shows, and we also went to one comedy club, and then like all the Conan writers came in, and so we all got bumped back, and we didn't go on stage till like 12:30. And so, but it was fun to be a part of all the festivities and see all the faces, but you're actually pretty low on the totem pole when you're like the new faces thing.
Now, when you were part of that, was it you submitting for that? How does it work for that? Did they scout you out or?
No. It was a couple of people there when I did Chicago Laugh Factory. I guess they have a tie with Robert, the actor the comedian that owns the Laugh Factory, or part owner of the Laugh Factory, Rob Rodriguez, something like that. But he just was there, and one thing led to another.
Oh, okay.
It really was happenstance type of thing.
But still, that's got to be an awesome experience, because I know a lot of people who look at as far as festivals go. It's like the festival to go to. It's something to definitely be a part of. Now. Back to the dry bar. You recently did a dry bar comedy special, which is very good. You gotta get the dry bar comedy app. Check out that dry bar comedy special. It's absolutely awesome. But now I know for the dry bar, the material's got to be definitely cleaner. How was it preparing yourself for the dry bar and shooting the dry bar special?
Dry bar was weird because it was a new thing. It was relatively new, and so everybody was kind of figuring it out as they went. So that's what made it fun. But it was such a big deal. Like it was like they have like 8 million followers. It's a big deal. And so it's that kind of new people handling big things type of dynamic. But it was super fun. The guys there are pretty amazing and dedicated to what they do. They had 3 camera shoots. Like I was completely blown away and surprised when I showed up. They had a little green room with snacks and stuff, and I'm like, I don't think they know who I am. Like, I think they think I'm somebody. I'm not. This is not. I had a makeup lady. I had like what I can only assume was like an errand lady. I'm not sure what she was, but she would stand next to me and just make sure I didn't need anything. It was crazy. It was crazy. Preparing for it wasn't that bad. I actually started comedy as a clean comedian. I actually started in churches, so being clean is actually pretty easy for me. So that part was kind of seamless.
Now, wow! So you started doing comedy in churches?
Yeah. Yep. I actually started in churches. It was kind of a one thing led to another type of situation. Also, how I got into comedy, but I was actually Christian comedian Mike Paramore when I started, Christian comedian or gospel comedian Mike Paramore when I started. It it wasn't until I found out you shouldn't do that that I just took that back part off.
Because I guess you're kind of, yeah.
You want to pigeonhole yourself. You want to be able to do a multitude of things. So I took that off. But yeah, no, I actually started churches.
Yeah, because I never thought that as an outlet or a venue to start comedy through.
Yeah, no. I mean, well, they can put you in a lot of situations that's not ideal for comedy, so it'll give you some chops for when you actually get out here where it's a good amount just set up for comedy. You know what I mean? So it's gives you that tough skin.
How many different churches would you say you performed at?
Oh, a lot. I have a company called Good Jokes Live that books churches.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm into it. Well, it's funny because so here's the deal. So
I'm a heathen.
Everybody who comes. The biggest thing that I've done in my career so far is a drive-by special. I have 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And so when I go and do comedy clubs, the majority of the people that are there know me from drive-by. Mm-hmm. So I have to give like a disclaimer, like, hey, I had to record that for drive-by, but this live is not that. So I'm no longer a Christian comedian. I still do churches all the time. I still do clean shows. I do cruise ships, colleges, so I have to have a clean at least 2 hours. So I still clean, but when I do like live comedy clubs, like that's my chance to flex and see what happens. Like I'm not like I'll do a lot of just talking to people, and that goes left. Like, so don't. If you see the drive-by, you like it, you come see me live. It's not that.
Now you said
it takes lefts, a lot of lefts.
Clean for colleges?
Yeah, some colleges want you to be clean.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh? Because I figured that would be a place more where the young people would like. Not bring filthy, but
what the young people like and what the colleges allowed is 2 different things. So the young people most definitely would love you just got up there and pulled your dick out, put it in a helicopter. They would love it to death. But the school says we can't. Like the department that hired you can't have that in.
Right.
It'd be like the health language department. It's like we can't have a health language department bringing in people talking about dick sucking. So it's like so yeah, it just depends on who brings you in. But I've done a lot of colleges that require me to do plans.
Okay. So you said it's been about 11 to 12 years. How long did it take from when you first started doing stand-up till you got to the point where you were doing headline work, like steady headlining work?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, what is the cutoff for steady? I mean, I started only accepting headlining gigs like recently, like 2019. I was like, okay, I'm no longer doing anything but headlining.
Now, do you do any featuring at all?
For buddies or auditions, yeah.
But you said like 2019. So about the last 3 years, you've been strictly trying to stay as a headliner. I know you not too long ago you did Hilarities up in Cleveland. I got to do the poster for you for that, and I wish I could have come up and watched it. I love going up there when I can get up there, but I'm down here, and I gotta get up to Cleveland. I really do. I gotta make it a point to get out that way. I actually performed in an abandoned strip club up in Cleveland about a month ago. I show up.
That's probably why you haven't been back. I would assume that would play a part.
I kid you not. I show up and I come around a corner and there's an industrial building, and then like one of those fences that's like covered in wrapping, so you can't see behind the fence, and then there's like a gate open, and then you're looking in and it's like, okay, it's a gravel driveway, there's no real address, but I see people going, come this way, and I pull in and I'm like, oh, this is the building, and the first thing I hear is like, yeah, it used to be a strip club. And you go,
so what was it now?
They're trying to apparently convert it into some kind of coffee club, but they were literally building, like, I performed that night, I think, for 4 workers, the bartender, and like 3 other actual guests and the comedians who were there. and there was a stripper pole on stage still.
What was this for? I think you're lucky to make it out alive. I think you're the one who survived, because that seems like a setup.
I had actually quite a few.
Have you seen anybody that was at that show ever again?
Yes, I have. Plus the booker.
Okay.
She is a nice person. I love her to death. But I was like, okay, this is interesting. My wife was like, why did you do it? I'm like, I've only been in comedy for almost 4 years now, but I'm not at the, I guess nothing's too out there at this point.
That has to be. Something happened. You just don't know what happened. Was it any lost time? Did you black out at all?
No, I was waiting for the whole thing.
Did you feel it like sharp?
They were making hamburgers on a Foreman grill.
Take DNA or something like that? Or you tricked at any point? Like, there might be clones out there of you somewhere. Like, there's no way that wasn't a setup. There's no way. There's no way that wasn't a setup.
And I didn't wake up in an ice full of, bathtub full of ice with a missing kidney.
They studied you for something. Something's coming.
Okay, then what would be probably the strangest show you've ever done? Or at least the sketchiest or strangest venue?
Probably a nudist colony.
Oh, you've done a nudist colony?
I've done a nudist colony.
Did you join the party, or were you clothed?
I was not required to be naked. No, I could have on clothes. Where everybody was clothed, everybody had on a little bit. I don't think nobody was butt naked. Some chicks had on heels and hats. There was this one dude who was completely naked from the waist down, but he had a button-up shirt on, and I was like, and it was buttoned up all the way.
So that was literally rock out with your cock out.
Why would you choose to Winnie the Pooh it at a nudist house?
It's a button-up, so I'm thinking he's Donald Ducking it.
I don't mind people seeing my loose, fresh, hot head, but not my stomach.
Yeah. Well, I'll honestly agree with that, because on me personally, I'm really great from the waist down. Everything from the waist up is a dumpster fire. I mean, my calves are cut,
But it's so awesome from the waist down that people gonna forget that you Winnie the Pooh in it right now.
But yeah, I know that.
Gonna forget, like,
No, the reason I asked about that, since you're from this area, by any chance, do you know who Mike Conley is? So Mike Conley has done nudist shows, and he has joined the party.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Picture that.
No, because here's why. I would have joined the party if not for the fact that mostly the people were older than me, and they do not have gym memberships in the nudist colony. And because men and women were looking at me as though I was some sort of steak, and I knew if I'd have took my clothes off, I wouldn't have made it out with my innocence. You know what I mean? So I didn't want them problems.
Now, how'd you get booked for that? Is this something you saw and you're like, I got to do that, or did somebody reach out to you and be like, hey, I want you to do this show?
I have no idea. It was me and Brian Kenny. I took Brian Kenny with me.
Okay.
It was me and Brian Kenny. I have no idea how I got booked. I think it was through my college booker. Maybe. I think it was through my booker for colleges. But I have no idea. I didn't do it. It was just somebody, like an agent or something, who said, hey, Mike, we have this show here. Do you want to do it? And I don't remember what group of people it was, but it was somebody called me and asked me, hey, we do this nudist colony once a year. We want to know if you want to do it this year. It's like, okay. Do I have to get naked?
Now, so since 2019 on, you've been pulling headlining work. Before that, from the start of your career, how long was it until you went from like open mics and here and there to like steady feature work, and then
Well, I don't have a normal story of being in love with comedy from a kid and blah 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 blah. Comedy came to me pretty late. I didn't really do a lot of the open mic circuit thing first. I was spoiled. I started in Columbus, Ohio, and I started the Columbus Funny Bone. And I guess for some reason, God or whatever, but they favored me, so I was always able to get stage time there. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done open mics, I've done the bar shows, I I didn't do that stuff until after, like doing like circuits of featuring for the Funny Bones. So it was actually a pretty big wake up call because I didn't have the bar show chops by the time I did one. So people were looking at me like, hey Mike, I was on a level in which I would headline bar show. So it's like, Mike, wants them headline the show. I'm like, okay, headline, I don't headline, that's awesome. Let me go headline someday. And it was a bar show, and I was like, oh shit, this is not the comedy club. So it was, my story was kind of weird, so it's backwards almost.
Getting into a club like that, especially Funny Bones, you said, because they're nationally recognized, so having that kind of work right off the bat, it definitely has to be kind of a reverse deal if you go anything outside of that. When did you do your first show here at the Funny Stop?
I don't know. It was very sporadic, me being here. The first time and the second time and the third time were very spread out. This was my second time headlining the club. So the relationship with people was always new because I lived in here. I didn't come down here that often. So comedy, you gotta hang out, you gotta be around. So I wasn't around enough. So the first time I was here was probably like a guest spot or an open mic or something. And then I featured. Then I met him and I featured like twice, and then there was a huge gap because he wanted me to feature again, and it was too late. I was already moved on. There was a huge gap until the first time I heard maybe was last year.
Yeah, it was around January, I believe, because I remember making posters for that.
Yeah, so that's new. The relationship with Funny Stop has been for a very long time, but it's been sporadic and new the whole time.
Until COVID, kind of threw things a little sideways for everybody for about a year or so as booking stuff.
But this is one of those clubs you're going to always come back to because it's like a grassroots club, low ceilings, intimate, crowd on top of you, like laughs in here, laughs, blow the roof off. So it's like a grassroots comedy club. You're as a performer, this is the kind of club you want to come back to. So it was always going to find my way back here.
Oh yeah, and plus working with Pete is great. He can be a little out there, a little hyped up at times. He's definitely he's a character, but he gives a lot of opportunities to a lot of people, and does it's one of the few open mics at a club around here, even like in Ohio. So obviously this is my home club. I love it to death. He let me throw my picture up on the wall here. Surprised nobody's drawing dicks on it yet. It did have horns and a mustache when I walked in today. But hey, Mike, I appreciate you coming out, sitting with me today.
Thank you so much.
Check out Mike Paramore's Dry Bar comedy specials. You can see what on the Dry Bar app and where else?
Dry Bar app. I'm on Spotify, XM Radio, all that. I got a podcast called Let's Be Honest with Mike Paramore.
Any shows coming up in September? Because this is gonna hit about the beginning of September.
September, I am doing mostly. Oh no, I have a college that I got to be clean for. And then I'm jumping on a cruise and I'm working in cruise. I'm doing a Hawaiian cruise.
Oh, so if you go on a cruise to Hawaii,
if you want to go on a cruise with me, September.
I am down. All right, check out Mike Paramore. Thanks for sitting with us. You guys have a wonderful night.